Okay, so today we're going to look at volume. So volume we're going to see is when you is the amount of space occupied by a three-dimensional object. So now when we get the 3D objects going. So you might just want to write that we're going to have cubic units. So what that means is like you'll have centimeters cubed, meters cubed, etc. So just remember you got to put the little power of 3 on it. So the way you find volume, and they've got it here, is generally the volume is the area of the cross section. And what they mean by when they say that, so when we say the area of the cross section, so say for a cylinder, you could find the area of that circle at the top, and that's called the cross section. It's sort of like the face. So if you want to write that underneath, it's like the face of the object. Okay, so if you looked at say the area of a circle, so area of a circle, if you look up, what's the formula? We just did that. It's pi r squared. Is that true? Yeah? So when you find the area of a cylinder, the volume of a cylinder, so if we were going to go find the volume of a cylinder, what we're going to have is, if we say what they said the area, we'll just say the area of the face times the height of it. So if you think about it, area of a circle is pi r squared, and then we could just times it by the height of the cylinder. So that's the volume for a cylinder, and if you look on your formula sheet, you'll see it. So if you get in your books, if you get a funny shape, so sometimes they do something like this, and then they'll say it extends, out or whatever, like that. But what they'll do is they will give you the area of the face. So what they'll say is they might say that is, they'll say like that is equal to, I'll just make it up, 2 meters squared. And they would have told you the length of the object, say that's, 3 meters. So therefore you can find the volume. You could say volume would be 2 times the 3. So volume is 6 meters cubed. Okay? So if you've got this weird shape, then you go, I don't even know how to find the area of that shape, then they've probably given it to you. So you'll see that. So we do have all our formulas on the back of our sheet anyway, so you can just follow the volume formulas and make sure you get the right dimensions. Now, often with volume, they will ask you to convert it to a capacity, which is like a mils or litres, because that's probably more practical. We don't go and say, here's a can of Coke, of 250 centimetres cubed, don't we? No, we say 250 mils or whatever. So that's how we can convert it. So if you look here, you can say 1 centimetre cubed equals 1 mil. Okay? So if you had, if you had 500 centimetres cubed, that would equal 500 mils. Yeah? Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we get asked to find the volume of the cuboid. If you look on your formula sheet, you'll see. Okay, so if you look on your back of your formula sheet, this shape is called a rectangular prism. They call it that on your formula sheet. So all you have to do is go find the volume formula, which it says LWH, which means length times width times height. So easy, real simple. The only thing you need to do is make sure you double check that all the measurements are in the same unit. So make sure all lengths are same unit, because that's where you could get caught out. Alright, so we've done that, and off we go, and we finish this one. So the length is 12, the width is 6, and the height is 4. So you pop that into your calc. 288, and I'm going to say centimetres cubed. Okay, the next one it says that find the volume of the cylinder in cubic meters, give your answer. So if you go on your formula sheet, it's listed as a right circular cylinder. So all the ones that you will do will always be a right circular cylinder. All that means is that it's perfectly flat on the bottom, otherwise technically. So we're going to look at the formula there, and it says that it's saying that the volume is the area of the base times the height. So you might write on your formula sheet, you might want to change that to the actual formula. So we know the area of a circle is pi r squared, and then you times it by the height. So on your back sheet there, change your cylinder, write it like that next to the volume so you have it. So we can see volume is pi r squared, so we're going to go pi times, I can see the radius is 5 squared times 25. Just double checking they're the same units, which they were, and we're going to do that answer. Now we don't want the pi symbol in our answer, so if you get that on your calculator, just press Control Enter. Okay, and just taking note, it says to 2 decimal places. We'd want to be highlighting or underlining that. So I get 50. So if you actually look at the number, just to help you with the rounding, I got 1963.495, okay? So with rounding, because this is a 5, this number needs to go up. It's a 9, so it forces this one up, and that's why that one becomes 5 and that one becomes a 0. So that's 2 decimal places. Now it was written in meters, so it'll be meters cubed for your final answer. Okay, find the volume of the 3-dimensional shape shown. So you actually have you have this shape on your sheet, but once again it's saying that the volume is the base area, so the area of the base times the height. So what we're going to show is this bit here, this front shape here is your base. So that's your base, and your base is a trapezium. So what you do is you put in here, the first part would be the formula for area of a trapezium. So we said that was a half, remember, B1 plus B2 times height. So where we call this the B1 and that the B2. And then we can just say times, we're going to change and say times the length. Yeah, because this is the length. That might be easier to think about it like that. Okay, so maybe on your formula sheet and against that trapezium where it's saying V equals B times H, and then it's got area of base times height, then put another equals and write that formula out where we're going to go B1 plus B2 times height, and then you might write times the length, put a little L, okay, and maybe draw a diagram there. So you might put this on your cheat sheet just to make your life a little bit easier, yeah, and you can write that's B1, this is B2, we'll call that one the height, and we'll call that the length, just so you've got a summary. So getting back to this example, if I go and substitute all the numbers in, so the top base was 10, the bottom one was 15, the height of the trapezium was 6, and the length of the whole thing was 25. And making sure they're all in centimetres, which they are, because what happens generally in practical applications, they're not the same. So you will see that, because if we start talking about a pipe, maybe the pipe at the front is small, so they'll talk about centimetres, but a pipe might go on for ages, so they might talk about metres or kilometres, so just be careful. All right, so we're going to pop that into our calculator. An exact number of 1875 centimetres cubed. Okay, the last one, finding the capacity of a cylinder. So the drink container is in the shape of a cylinder. So you know you're talking about cylinder. How many litres of water can it hold if the height of the cylinder is 20 centimetres and the diameter is 7 centimetres? Give your answer to 2 decimal places. So just be careful. They want how many litres. So remember, just write that up there. Litres is the question. So first of all, we need to get the volume of a cylinder. So we'd write the formula for volume of a cylinder, which is pi r squared times height. All right, so if you drew the scenario of what they gave us, so there, they told this is 20 centimetres height, and they told us that the diameter, so that means across there, is 7 centimetres. So if we do that, what's the radius? Yeah, so the radius is only half of it. So we're going to say 3.5 centimetres. So when we go back to our formula and we find our volume, we're going to do pi times 3.5 squared times height, which is 20. And we're going to get, this is all in centimetres. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so it's saying, it also said in the question to 2 decimal places. So when I write this answer, I'm going to write it in 2 decimal places, so 0.69. Now this is centimetres cubed, okay? So now, because we really want the capacity, so we want litres, so we need to change 769.69 centimetres cubed. We need to change it to litres. Okay, we know that this is, if you convert, you can say 1 centimetre cubed is 1 mil. So we know that it's 769.69 mils. And then how many mils in a litre? 1,000. So if you're going from mils to litres, you're going to divide by 1,000. So see how when we're going to divide by 1,000, we're actually going to lose some of our decimal points. So that means we might need to not round it up on our calculator. So really on our calculator, we leave it till the end. And when you divide your answer by 1,000, you'll see that we're going to get 0.76. Oh no, so that's all right, sorry. Yeah, we divide it. So we want 2 decimal places, so it would be 7.69. So we want with just 0.77 litres. Okay?